Assalamu alaikum.
Comfortable?
Yes, sir.
You tell us something about yourself.
I'm Abdul. I hail from Shadad in Upper Sindh. My father is a government servant. He serves as an assistant director in the Building Control Authority. My mother is a homemaker. I got my early education in my hometown. For my matriculation and FSC, I went to Cadet College, Ladkana. There I was overall third in academics, best essayist, and editor in my annual Indus magazine. For my higher education, I did mechanical engineering from Iran University, Jamshoro. In my spare time, I like to read books. I like to play snooker and chess.
So you come from rural Sindh.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just introduce us the province of Sindh to all of us.
The province of Sindh, the culture of Sindh is almost 5,000 years old. It houses one of the oldest civilizations in the world. It is one of the oldest living cultures today. The Sindh is also called the land of peace because of its remarkable multicultural outlook and its tolerant religious sensibilities. The province of Sindh also houses major metropolitan cities like Karachi, Hyderabad, and Sakkar. The basic mode of the production in Sindh is agricultural subsistence and major other industries.
Can you tell us something about the Constitution of Pakistan? What are the main features of this Constitution?
The Constitution of the Pakistan is the basic document of Pakistan in which all the stakeholders agree on the rules of the game. It came about on 14th August 1973. It's a parliamentary form of constitution. It is a rigid constitution. Another feature is that it is a written constitution. It advocates for separation of powers. It gives fundamental rights such as freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, the right to information to its citizens. It espouses an Islamic nature of the Pakistan, in which the objective resolution has been made the substantive part of the Pakistani constitution, and the Pakistani constitution of 1973 is still in force after some topsy-turvy period of Pakistani history.
You are working in an agriculture bank now?
No, sir.
You have been there?
Yes, sir. I left.
Now you have left.
Yes, sir.
What is the contribution of agriculture sector in the GDP of Pakistan?
Sir, it is almost around 23% of the GDP. It also employs 55% of our total workforce. So it is one of the backbones of
How
our.
long you stayed in the agriculture bank?
Sir, I stayed for around 11 months.
11. So how much, why they lend to the farmer?
Sir, I beg your
Why they lend to the farmer?
Sir, because it's their mandate. The bank was founded in the Ayub Khan's time. It was called Agricultural Development Bank of Pakistan. The basic aim of the bank was to provide cheap credit to the farmers. It has been in Sindh for almost thousands of years that the credit and production loans are provided by the middlemen, which are loan sharks, which provide loans at a very high interest rate. So the aim of this bank is to facilitate the farmers for their credit needs, be it production loans or be it development loans.
Now you tell me there is a war going on between Hamas and a country named Israel. What is the status of Hamas vis-a-vis Israel? And who is the gainer out of this war till today?
Sir, Hamas is an armed liberation organization. According to my eyes, it is fighting the occupation of the Palestinian lands.
But the UNO has declared them as terrorist organization.
Yes, sir, it has been declared by the UNO as terrorist organization, but Nelson Mandela was frankly also declared as a terrorist by the South Africans who supported apartheid. So Hamas is fighting for national liberation, and the biggest.
So this is your opinion that they are liberation fighters.
Yes, sir.
What about the West Bank? Because the PLA is controlling the West Bank out of election. The Hamas came out.
Sir, it has been the biggest.
Okay, what is the gain? What gain they have made? Because they are fighting against a country. What is the gain they have made? Hamas.
I believe they have made no gains, because the ultimate winner of this conflict would be Israel, because the international community, almost all of the West supports Israel. And the natural outcome of this will be that their declared outcome, even in their official documents, is the dispositions of all Palestinians in the Gaza. They want to push them out to the Sinai Desert, and same with the West Bank. They want to push them to Jordan. So the ultimate aim of the Israelis is to create a greater Israel, or in their words, Eretz Israel, as they call. So they want a pure ethno-nationalist Jewish state which houses no minorities, no Palestinians.
What is the population of Israel?
Sir, it is around 8 million people.
How many Arabs live there? Muslim Arabs.
Sir, the Arab Israeli citizens, they hold Israeli passports, are almost, or if I'm guessing, it's almost around 3.5 or 3.6 million.
Do you think two-state solution or one-state solution, which is feasible?
Sir, in my personal opinion, I believe that one-state solution is the key.
Tell us how.
One-state solution in a sense that there should be one state which respects the rights of both Jewish and its Arab citizens. The current constitutional makeup of Israel declares it as a Jewish state. So I believe there should be a new constitutional setup in Israel, in a one state which respects the rights of both citizens. And the policy of settlements in the West Bank and the blockade of Gaza that has been occurring should be abolished, because there is no appetite for a two-state solution anymore, even in the eyes of Arabs or Israelis anymore.
Thank you. Yes.
PAAS is your first choice.
Yes.
How do you see the system of selection of the CSS officers? Do you think through the system, right officers are being selected for different occupational groups?
So I believe that the process for selection is fair, it is rigorous, and that's why, for example, we are seeing in last 5 or 6 years, many foreign graduates are coming into the civil services. So I believe the general quality of civil service will improve in the future, because the process has become so rigorous and so challenging for candidates that the most quality professionals are coming to the fore from all walks of life.
Don't you think different occupational groups, they should have their own system of recruitment and selection?
Yes, sir, this should be a case, but I believe that that technical gap that occurs, because general criticism on civil services that it is generalist in nature, there should be this gap should be filled in the training phase. That technical training should be given to general professionals to avoid any technical gaps that they pose.
What reforms have been introduced so far in the working of the police?
I'm sorry, sir, I'm not aware of it.
You're not aware of PSP, your second choice? What do you know about the police working?
Sir,
about the police working in a district?
The basic aim of the police is to maintain law and order and to prevent crimes before even occurring. So their basic aim is to uphold law, to catch criminals and produce them before the judiciary for any necessary judicial proceedings. So the basic aim of the police is to facilitate the law, to be the arm of the law.
What is continental shelf?
Sir, the continental shelf is the landmass that is below the sea level of a country that exists in a for example 200 or 300 nautical miles. It is, for example, the many continental shelves are rich in natural resources, they are rich in gas, and they are rich in marine life as well.
How will you evaluate the working of the United Nations?
Sir, the United Nations has become a talking shop of nations, because the basic nature of the United Nations is such that there are many veto powers. The 5 veto powers exercise a hold on United Nations. If any policy they don't like would be thrown out of it. For example, in just last week, the United Nations General Assembly has passed 6 resolutions against Israel and Israeli occupation of Palestine, but no such executive action has been taken by the United Nations. So I believe that United Nations, in its own structure today, is unable to impose any decisions on the vital world.
What reforms are being contemplated? There are certain reforms. There's a debate going on about certain measures, certain reforms that should be taken in the near future, in the structure and working of United Nations? What are those?
Sir, the framework was given by Kofi Annan in 2002. He advocated for the restructuring of the Security Council and General Assembly. I'm not aware of the. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not aware of the nitty-gritties of the this reform, but he advocated for more national Security Council seats.
Where is Strait of Gibraltar and its significance?
So the Strait of Gibraltar is between Spain and Morocco. It is a choke point. It connects the seas of it connects Mediterranean Sea with the Atlantic Ocean. So it is a major choke point, trade choke point in the world, and it is controlled by Great Britain.
What defines climate change?
So the climate change is a result of global warming. We have seen a rise in global carbon emissions in the world, and due to the greenhouse effect, in which there are many greenhouse gases in the world, and when ultraviolet lights approach the Earth during the daytime, and when the infrared light does not escape the Earth's environment due to the presence of greenhouse gases, the global warming occurs, and due to that global warming, we are seeing climate change in many.
What is green economy and how can we have it?
Sir, green economy is basically the economy which is eco-friendly, the economy which is in sync with the global sustainable development goals, which does not harm any environments. It advocates for zero emissions, and I believe that the green economy for Pakistan is not the way, because it is too much expensive, and our carbon emissions are too low to be considering the green economy. But because the infrastructure and the manufacturing is too expensive, I believe that we should utilize more cheaper forms of energy and cheaper forms of technology for our economic growth.
Too accommodating your weakness. What do you mean? How will you explain it?
Sir, oftentimes when a friend asks me for something, I often leave my own tasks to accommodate him. So
that is good. What's so bad about it?
So because my own work, which is necessary, lags behind in certain times.
Welcome to CSPs Academy for CSS PMS preparation. CSS PMS तहरीरी इम्तिहान के तमाम मज़ामीन की ऑनलाइन और ऑन कैंपस तैयारी के साथ साथ सब्जेक्ट सिलेक्शन, असाइनमेंट चेकिंग, क्लास टेस्ट, मॉक एग्जाम, इंडिविजुअल टीचर डिस्कशन और फीडबैक सेशन का इनकाद किया जाएगा। इसके अलावा FPSC की तजवीज़ करदा बुक्स से बने मयारी नोट्स और CSP पब्लिशर की बेहतरीन बुक्स मुहैया की जाएंगी।
Abdul, you have studied thermodynamics.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the difference between thermodynamics and aerodynamics?
Ma'am, the thermodynamics studies heat in a system. It studies the balance of heat and energy in the system and how the heat and energy moves in a mechanical system. The aerodynamics is fundamentally different. It studies the bodies, the movement and the forces and the balance of bodies which move in the air. For example, an aeroplane is moving in the air, and how much pressure the airfoil exerted on the aerofoil is studied by aerodynamics. And the thermodynamics is fundamentally different. Thermodynamics studies engines, it studies thermal cycles. It's fundamentally different from aerodynamics.
Would you study both for a sports car?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You need both for a sports car, because thermodynamics to maintain the temperature and aerodynamics to maintain the general shape of the car, so it does not interfere with the flow of the air.
You have studied thermal power plants. What is your idea? Which kind of power plant would be better for Pakistan given our energy crisis?
Ma'am, I believe that coal power plants, even if they are not eco-friendly, are best for Pakistan because they are cheap. We are in a huge economic crisis, and the fundamental mistake we have been doing since the IPP policy came in 1992, that we have been facilitating diesel and petrol thermal IPPs. In my personal opinion, when I was doing a feasibility study in Jamshoro, the per unit cost was coming to around 28 rupees per unit. It was a diesel IPP. So it was very expensive. So I believe that coal power plants are the way forward in thermal energy. And diesel and petrol power plants they have a geopolitical risk because we do not have a steady supply of fuel, and they are too much expensive in the long run.
Your favorite personalities include Henry Kissinger and Theodore Roosevelt.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything common between the two?
In their policy, in their foreign outlook, they are similar. Theodore Roosevelt used to say, "Speak softly and carry a big stick." He was a realist in international relations sense. Theodore Roosevelt, Henry Kissinger was similar in a sense, but he came after 60 years. Both were rational in their outlook. Both had remarkable aptitude for foreign policy, and they both produced some very brilliant results in the American foreign policy.
You studied the book Gulag Archipelago. What is an archipelago?
Ma'am, archipelago is the chain of islands. We have an Indonesian archipelago in which there are around 8,000 or 9,000 islands. There are Mariana archipelago. Archipelago is the chain of islands in an ocean. And the Gulag archipelago, the Gulag is a concentration camp. It was a camp which was used for holding petty and political prisoners in the Soviet Union. So the Gulag archipelago. So he talks about the many camps that existed throughout the Soviet Union, which oppressed political prisoners and.
Thank you so much, Abdul Ahad.
Thank you, ma'am. Abdul Ahad, what is third law of thermodynamics? Something. Okay, can you tell me what prize Theodore Roosevelt won and in which year?
Thank you so much.
On what grounds?
Yes, sir.
What is the relation between Theodore Roosevelt and FDR? The distant cousin. Okay, good. Well, can you tell me that the name of Sultan, which is considered as enlightened Sultan in history of India?
I would like to start from my roots. My grandfather was the only.
Akbar. I'm not asking about king. I'm asking about Sultan. What is difference between Sultan and king?
In public service. But unfortunately, that dedicated public servant and renowned Urdu poet could not live long. My father, who was very young at that time, did not.
What do you know about War of Kalinga? And what is the significance of this war in Indian history?
It was because of the sport that my parents extended to me and my sisters, despite coming from a backward area of KPK, that I didn't only shine academically, but also received the awards like Prime Minister Innovation Award, KPK Innovation Award.
There was a big shift after this war in administrative domain. What was that shift?
Selection. And
okay, what do you know about First Battle of Tarain?
Science and Technology Park.
Well, do you know something about Second Battle of Panipat?
These endeavors.
It was fought between?
Today. So my entire life has been the embodiment of
Rana Singha.
Non-ascender.
Okay, what is the significance of War of Buxar in Indian history?
Do you want to join the administrative services of Pakistan?
Yes, I'll.
What change happened after that?
Tell us something about Pakistan as a country. What do you know about Pakistan?
Sir, if on this globe.
Okay, change in revenue system of India.
In galaxies. If on this globe, my heart lies somewhere, it's Pakistan. So Pakistan, as its name says, is a land of pures. And it's still very pure, though some layers have been accumulating over it. But I have this very firm belief that one day that pure.
Okay, what is nationalism?
Pakistan has huge potential. It has the geopolitical benefit. It has natural resources. It has a lot of potential in tourism.
What specific incident or very important event that gave push to the rise of nationalism?
Efficiently and effectively, these resources would, inshallah.
Okay, what is neo-Marxism?
So it's currently 228 million.
Now you tell us, what is the governance structure of the state of Pakistan
Okay, sir.
under the constitution.
Okay, sir. I'll tell broadly. In the Pakistan,
Okay, who propounded theory of complex interdependence?
we have ministries on the top, the elected ministries, and then we have the bureaucracy that executes
Who
the
propounded this idea of what is complex interdependence?
together. And among the bureaucracy, from the level of secretary to the level of the assistant commissioners and in like different capacities, we have a very good hierarchy, a very systematic one. So they execute the function.
Just brief us about
Good. Okay, my last question. What Rousseau and John Locke contributed toward the subject of international relations?
Short-term problems that we have, some long-term problems that we have, and where I'd see it going. So in the short term, our macro and microeconomic indicators aren't very good. We have like
How they
circular
contributed?
current
It
account
was a
deficit.
manifestation of world organization that we say usually it originated in the ideas or theories of these two political philosophers.
So we have
Okay,
the
thank you.
short-term issues.
let's conclude it. अब्दुल अहद कितने नंबर दोगे 10 में से अपने आप को?
To calm the people about these, because these are
7.5. अब ये है कि इंट्रोडक्शन तुम्हारा कंपैरेटिवली बेटर था. मेक इट वन पेजर लिख के उसमें हर वो चीज डालो वेयर यू कैन सेल योरसेल्फ. आपने बेचना है ना अपने आप को,
could be addressed.
तो यू नीड टू ऐसा इंट्रोडक्शन बनाओ कि पहली गो में तुम्हारी वो पिच डेवलप हो जाए. यू आर इन गुड स्टेट ऑफ प्रिपेयर्डनेस. थोड़ी सी मजीद तैयारी करने की जरूरत है.
Confederation.
पर्सनैलिटी आपकी ठीक है, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल ठीक है, वर्बल एज वेल एज बॉडी लैंग्वेज, पर कॉन्फिडेंस नॉलेज के साथ आता है. व्हेन देयर इज नॉलेज यू आर मोर कॉन्फिडेंट.
100 and
पोस्चर ठीक है आपका, टोन भी ठीक है, वॉइस का इम्पैक्ट भी ठीक आ रहा है. ठीक है. अब आपने ये है कि एक तो न्यूज़पेपर को डेफिनेटली यू आर वर्किंग ऑन इट. एक नोटबुक बनाओ. बनाई हुई है या नहीं?
Constitution and
इंटरव्यू नोटबुक. उसकी स्ट्रेटेजी है कि पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन में जैसे आप देखते हैं ना, एक स्लाइड पे 4 पॉइंट है जिनको एक्सप्लेन करना है, इसी तरह कम से कम 100 टॉपिक पे तुम इसी तरह एक नोटबुक बनाओ जिसमें हर पेज पे तुम्हारे 4 पॉइंट टॉपिक हो, 4 पॉइंट हो. तो व्हेन यू आर आस्क्ड टू स्पीक देन यू आर इन अ पोजीशन टू स्पीक. मतलब इन केस ऑफ ये पैलेस्टाइन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट जो हो रहा है
establishment
हमास का, और उसमें देयर आर सर्टेन गेनर एंड देयर आर सर्टेन लूजर.
and
That you should be very clear about these things. ठीक है ना? तो कीप इट अप. तुम रूरल सेंस से हो, यू विल मेक ए गुड मार्क. लेकिन वहाँ भी तो हमने देखा है कि बहुत सारे बच्चे आ रहे हैं जो काफी मेहनत कर रहे हैं.
is
ठीक है ना? सर थैंक यू.
आपने पोटेंशियल है, आपने सवालों के बड़े अच्छे जवाब दिए हैं, लेकिन कुछ में जो है ना, जैसे CSS का सिस्टम है, अमूमन इस पर दोनों हैं, प्रोज एंड कॉन्स हैं. सो यू शुड बी एबल टू give arguments in both these aspects कि इसके pros ही हैं, cons ही हैं, इसकी जो selection system है इसकी. तो climate change की एक specific definition है,
the same government.
वो आप जाकर देखें. climate change, define climate change, वो एक specific definition है, वो आपको पता होनी चाहिए. ठीक है. बाकी वो जवाब आपने ठीक दिया था, वो उसको एक्सप्लेन किया, लेकिन एक स्पेसिफिक डेफिनेशन है. ये पुलिस रिफॉर्म्स का जो है सेकंड चॉइस है आपकी, पता होना चाहिए आपको
We have
कि
these
क्या पुलिस रिफॉर्म्स हुए है उसमें, उसकी वर्किंग में. जैसे इन्वेस्टिगेशन जो विंग अलग हो गया हुआ है, वो दूसरी जो ड्यूटीज़ जो होती हैं, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर ड्यूटीज़, वॉच एंड वार्ड ड्यूटीज़ जो हैं, वो इन्वेस्टिगेशन को अलग कर दिया है. इन्वेस्टिगेशन विंग अलग है. तो ये एक रिफॉर्म. देयर आर अदर्स आल्सो, जिसको आप जाकर इसको देखें. पुलिस ऑर्डर 2002 स्टडी किया आपने? हाँ, उसको झट देखो. उसमें मेंशन हुआ है सारा जो रिफॉर्म्स होनी है, मेंशन है, और जो हुई है वो भी जो है ना, आप पता करेंगे तो आपको पता लग जाएगा.
sir,
ठीक
the
है.
people.
हाँ, शाबाश.
Abdul Ahad, you have a very good personality. You're an intelligent boy.
That
फिर जैसे शौकत साहब ने कहा, अपनी इंटरव्यू जो अपनी जो इंट्रोडक्शन है उसके ऊपर वर्क ऑन इट, कि आप अपनी हाइलाइट्स जो है वो बताएं, क्योंकि दैट विल सेट द स्टेज फॉर द इंटरव्यू। ठीक है, कब है आपका इंटरव्यू?
But as far as I know, there is a lot of debate about the expenditure
टू
on the machinery, about managing the expenses,
अच्छा, ये साइकोलॉजिकल हो गया मैं
about the
अच्छा चलो ठीक है। जो ये किताबें हैं उनको रिफ्रेश कर लो। ठीक है, हॉबीज़ जो आपने दी हैं, चेस की हिस्ट्री, उसका कहाँ कहाँ एवोल्यूशन किस तरह डेवलप हुई, अब कौन चेस चैम्पियंस हैं, ये सब इंफॉर्मेशन आपको होनी चाहिए। अपने ऑप्शनल्स को भी जो है वर्क ऑन देम अ लिटिल। स्नूकर के ऊपर भी आपको सवाल आ सकते हैं, हु आर द चैम्पियंस, व्हाई पाकिस्तान इज नॉट अ चैम्पियन, व्हाई पाकिस्तान हैजंट प्रोड्यूस्ड मेनी चेस चैम्पियंस, questions like that. Think through, you can do well, you are a winning horse and I wish you all the best. डॉक्टर साहब,
आप माशाल्लाह बहुत पोटेंशियल कैंडिडेट हैं, आपने बहुत अच्छी चीज़ों के आंसर्स भी दिए। एक चीज़ जैसा कि आपको विद थर्ड लॉ ऑफ डायनामिक्स, वैसे मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ कि जो पोटेंशियल है ना एनर्जी का, वो ग्रेटर पोटेंशियल से दूसरी बॉडीज़ की तरफ जा रहा होता है। जैसे सूरज है वो हीट दे रहा होता है, ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट। मैं तो आपसे, चूँकि आपने पढ़ी हुई है थर्मोडायनामिक्स, इसलिए पूछ रहा था। बाकी चीज़ों को थोड़ा सा रिलेट करना जाने, आपका जितना इंटरव्यू अब हुआ है ना, आप इवन तो यू आर फ्रॉम साइंसेस, आपने बहुत अच्छे आंसर्स दिए हैं, IR के भी और कुछ हिस्ट्री के भी। चीज़ों को रिलेट करना चाहें, फ्रेंच रेवोल्यूशन, नेशनलिज्म साउथ एशिया में, सब कॉन्टिनेंट में जो वॉर ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस थी, वो एक डायरेक्ट लिंक था उस राइज ऑफ इंडियन नेशनलिज्म एंड ब्रिटिश नेशनलिज्म, उसके अगेंस्ट, जिसको आप एक रिलेट कर सकते हैं, रिलेट अगर करना चाहते तो। ठीक है, रोसो और जॉन लॉक की जो थ्योरीज थी, उनको जो लिबरल आइडियाज़ जो उससे ओरिजिन होते हैं, और फिर ये जो नियो लिबरलिज्म है, वर्ल्ड इंस्टीट्यूशन, IGOs जो है, लाइक यूनाइटेड नेशन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, दे हैव डायरेक्ट रूट्स इन देयर आइडियोलॉजीज। चीज़ों को थोड़ा सा रिलेट करना चाहिए।
again we have to
तो ये थोड़ा सा पाकिस्तान स्टडी का भी एक चीज़ मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ, अगर छोटी सी, पाकिस्तान का थर्ड कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनाने के लिए कितने नंबर की जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन असेंबली थी, यू नो दैट?
because even in colonial
मतलब इस तरह के थोड़ा सा पाकिस्तान अफेयर्स का थोड़ा सा आपका साइड भी है,
had the army,
इसको थोड़ा सा देख लीजिएगा। ठीक है, वो फोर्थ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन असेंबली थी,
the police, so
इन चीज़ों को थोड़ा सा जरूर देखिए। ठीक है, बाकी विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट।
it needs to be, we have a lot
Okay,
of films
best of luck.
that are praising our military.